This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
You know how sometimes the first play of the game can be a real tone setter?
Aussie.
Yeah, I basically just went with Ashton Jen Teabag.
NFL.
He's not a walking 7 for 70 as I learned last week when he went 1 for 5.
Fantasy.
I'd probably lean towards taking Henry maybe ahead of McCaffrey just because of what I've seen.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Loading.
Australia's premier NFL fantasy football show is back. For the Aussie Gridiron Network, this is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. They call me Matty C, and joining me in week 12 in so many leagues, this is the week where the trade deadline swings in and all of a sudden things change very, very quickly, is Australia's favourite NFL fantasy analyst, it's Taylor Goodall. How are you, mate?
Matty C, I finally took a loss after 11 weeks in starts of the week, so today there is no Ryan. You know what? Fuck that, because I'm in my prime. Let's go!
Okay, so I thought it was going to be too good to be true there, because I'm like, mate, you haven't won every week. What's this? What are you talking about? You haven't won every week.
Nah, I finally got a last. It was, I'd either been second or first. Finally, snagged the last place, but look, we move forward, mate. It's still been a far better season than last year, so can't complain.
Anyone can have a bad day, mate. Don't worry about it. Anyone can have a bad day. You've got your mitts all over that trophy at the moment, and I'm just, every day when I get into my desk, I keep it on my desk at work because I want to see it every day, and I spend a lot of time there, and I realise the days that I've got left to look at it at that proximity are probably, numbered now. The league is
Dwindling?
starting to get good. Yeah, that's a good word to use, dwindling. We'll talk about this further on Sunday, but hey, you've got a good 4-point lead on me, and then I've got about a 4-point lead on Will. But good on you, Josh. Josh, we were talking to him on the Friday show, the Sunday show after he drafted his team, saying that what we really need for this segment is for you to win. That would make good radio, and it has.
And now Jackson won't kill him. That is also a good thing.
Mate, I reckon Jackson can make short work of some people. That's a big dude. He's a big, tall, strapping bloke, Jackson. And if he was angry at me and I was within arm's reach, which is about 3 kilometres, I would not like to be that person. He's just a big dude. Big dude. It looks like he works out.
Do you work out, man?
Jackson, do you work out, man? I mean, I admire the hell out of the guy. He's a handsome, stunning man. Love you, Jackson. Also, he gave me credit for being on an NBL podcast this week, so I like that. NBL Fantasy. Apparently, there's a guy on there who sounds a lot like Matty C. Say about that.
Brilliant.
Might be the NBL super coach or something. I don't know. But yeah, Jackson, he's finding Matty C audio doppelgangers out there. It's fantastic. Mate, I just want to really bring up very quick. I took 2 L's this week in the fantasy leagues that we're running with the listeners. Listeners who win our listener leagues, the red, blue, gold, and green leagues, all going to pick up a prize pack of sorts from the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show merch store. But Tay, it means that in one of them I'm back to like 5 and 6 or whatever, so I'm still in the hunt. But the other one I'm like 4 and 7, 3 and 8, something like that. I think it's curtains for me in that league, and that's how it is.
That sucks, mate. But for me, and I know you didn't ask, I'm just going to jump straight into me.
Do it.
Screw you.
Screw me indeed.
I just wanted to point out in the Blue League, and I know I get a lot of people in the group chat chatting about our podcast. So that's been a league that's been it's definitely been supporting the podcast, which is great. But this week, the guy that I've brought up who's been at the top of the league the entire season, and his points for is like the most ridiculously high compared to everyone else in the league I've ever seen. I played at Fat Watts this week, and he copped a big fat L. Yeah, baby!
Nice one, Tay. Good shot. Nice. Just keep these chippy listeners, put them back in this spot, mate. Just remember, playing as experts.
Nah, look, he's still dominating. He's at 9-2.
Yeah.
So still perched up top, mate. So at Fat Wad's doing very, very well. But I just thought I'd point that out. I'm sitting in 4th now, so it's another one of these ones where there's a little bit of a gap between 6th and 7th. It's actually not too bad. Where 6 has less points for than 7th, and it's only a 1-game gap. So there actually is a chance someone from outside could actually sort of jump in. It's just the Gold League. I got a win in that as well. So I'm just bringing up the standings at the moment. I believe that's the one where the top 6 has sort of gone away from everyone.
That's the one where it's Kev, it's Cam, then it's everyone else. Is that kind of...
Yeah, it's Cam's 9-2, Michael Poe's 9-2 as well. Yeah,
looking forward to meeting him on the podcast later this year, Poe. He's going to be good.
Kev had a draw with Prometheus Rex, and they're both third and fourth. Then I'm fifth.
Jordan Pop. Love that
and
guy.
Then I got this wrong too. There's actually there's a sixth and a seventh at 4 and 7 at Seahawk Sam and Courtney. I actually just remembered I brought that up in the league chat where I was like, those two are going to be battling out for sixth because everyone else is kind of locked into their position at the moment. So it should be interesting between those guys to see. See how they finish.
The Battle of the Hawks. Love it. Thank you to everyone who's participating in those. The Gold League, because it was the first one we filled, and it's actually full of quite a lot of folks we know through podcast world, having spent time with us here or joined our community, and we've just had such a connective tissue to a lot of those guys. It's been brilliant to have them sort of all in one spot, fighting tooth and nail. And then the folks who've been in the other leagues, I've been still, Tay, I'm continuing to do that thing where I throw a little bit of rated shade at people every week, and I told someone that they were going to get humped into submission this week, and they got to turn that around on me once they beat me. So, I've been commenting a lot of that. I come out with a slur, they say nothing, and then as soon as they beat me, they just repeat my slur back at me. So, fair play, but, I mean, come on, guys, be a bit creative.
Yeah, wankers.
But no, thanks to everyone who's joining in those. We'll give a bigger update on these as we get closer to the especially as we get into the playoffs, because there's a few folks who are now kind of out of the running. Like I will be in the green league, but the red league I'm still trying to hang in there. The other great thing is that, Tay, we mentioned this, we're getting close to trade deadlines, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity for people to make last moves. At this stage, you kind of know if A, you're safe and you're just looking to consolidate, B, you're in the running and you probably are in a spot where you need to diversify some assets to try and give yourself more depth, or if, again, you're kind of in that position where you need to just firm up, or you're in the bottom end of it and you've got actually a chance to try and ruin someone's run. So all these things, there's no reason, no matter where you are on a set of standings in your fantasy league, why you shouldn't be entertaining the idea of making some moves. And it's a good time here to be doing that. I'll have a few questions about people who are looking to make moves in the mailbag on the Sunday show. You looking forward to that, mate?
Absolutely, and the good thing is I've kind of got a diversity in my leagues this year as well, where I've got ones that I've sort of fallen off a bit, and I'm looking at as basically a 1 week play each week, where I'm like, I have to start buying wins now. I can't think of the future. I basically have to go on a run to even have a chance to be the playoffs. Or I've got leagues where I'm sort of humming and sitting near the top, and I've locked in my playoff spot, and I can think of the future and kind of everything in between. It's sort of I've spread across all my leagues this year. I'm kind of, a jack of all trades in terms of the different sort of trade, I guess, targets I have this year. Whereas last year, I was kind of in a pretty good position in basically all the 13 leagues. So I kind of was doing the same thing in almost all my leagues. So if it's an interesting period, and it's good to have a chat about it, because it's like not everyone's the same out there in the trade market. Everyone's in a different position. And that's what makes it super interesting. And I know I've got a couple of leagues I commissioned that our trade deadline is this week. So getting into some of those questions will be great.
Yeah, it's going to be superb. So make sure you get them into the mailbag. Aussie NFL Fantasy Show on Instagram, coming straight to me at Matty Podcast, or straight to Taylor at Taylor41. And we pop them up there every week. We try and find the most compelling ones and pop them up there and dive into them. And generally, our guest has also done a great job of helping share a bit of perspective on them too. And, mate, I think that is a good time to talk about our guest tonight. Tay, do you want to do the honours and bring in our superstar?
Yeah, look, he's basically just part of the furniture at this point, isn't he? He's definitely stepped in one of the weeks that I had away. We brought him on a little while ago on the Fantasy Podcast for his first go, and then he got a taste of it, and he hasn't stopped. He's part of the network. He's on GDAY GRIDIRON. He's in multiple fantasy leagues. He's obviously caught the bug, and we love having him because his mind is absolutely phenomenal on the GDAY GRIDIRON side. But he steps in and has awesome takes on the fantasy side as well. So welcome, Isaac.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Tay. I guess I need to make up for the last time I played for the world and put a decent score up, because last time it was fucking horrible.
It's harder than people think. It really is.
Not wrong. You're not wrong. And this week's even harder because we've got 4 teams on the board.
I think when people are listening to this segment at home and they kind of look at who's available and their free agents in their leagues, then I think it seems easy. But as Taya said too, like, you get on the spotlight here, there's pressure because you're on a clock. It's like, it is much harder. And mate, like, unless you're Taylor at the moment, then everyone's bad at it. So don't worry.
Yeah, well, you try and choose matchups, and they just don't come off, and it's like, oh well, what do you do?
And good news with the new settings, it actually makes you hate yourself even more this year than it did last year. Like it's like with the flex and the captaincy in the last round, it's just thrown off the whole draft order completely. It's like you used to be able to go, oh, those two have taken a running back, I can just leave running back to the end of the draft, blah blah blah. It was kind of simplified a bit, but now it's just like, because of the flex and having to think of that last round, it just throws a cat amongst the pigeons, and it's been really enjoyable.
Been brilliant.
And I mean, looking at the segment last week too, it just shows you the power of some of it too. Like, after we did the draft, and I just mentioned casually, I was tossing up between Juwan Jennings as my captain, who just fell to me, or if someone else took him, I was going to take Michael Wilson, a wide receiver. He was my captain. I would have scored 66 points or something like that in one spot. That would change everything. So it's just, the power is amazing, and the ability to then kick your own ass, like I have been for the last 5 days since that happened. Also super high. Brutal when you think I was this close to maybe setting 100 piece, because instead I settle for a 50. A fucking 50. So yeah, it's brutal, Isaac. Don't play that game. Love thyself.
And don't pick a captain that gets injured in the first quarter. I can't stress that enough.
Oh my god.
I'll try not to.
Especially by that stage, Tay, you already had 4 points, so like he was clearly
he was going right.
And it's brutal, fucking brutal. But Isaac, it's great to have you back, because as Tay says, you came on once to do a show with us, and then all of a sudden you just kind of got the bug for it, and you've been a great contributor to the network, and you do all kinds of things behind the scenes people don't even see, and they don't recognize, they wouldn't know from the outside looking in is you, and we're just so grateful to have you as part of the team, mate. Thank you for everything you do from all of us, mate.
No worries. Thanks for having me. It was always, I reached out to, big shout out to Ian, because I reached out to Ian when he just put it out. I was listening to GDAY GRIDIRON. He's like, if anyone wants to come on, I was like, oh, I've been on with Tay and that, I may as well throw my hat in the ring. And yeah, it's been really good ever since.
Pretty much been a regular ever since too. I think it's like, okay, so you need to give me your entire schedule.
That's pretty much it, because I work shift work. It's like, well, what days can I have you on? What days can I not? And we just work it out.
Yeah.
It's been awesome, the expanding even on that show, like having the reactions show and then your regular show. It's been really cool. It's gone from strength to strength this year, GDAY GRIDIRON.
And you can see the familiarity between you lads as well is really helpful too, because I think once you get the comfort of working in the group where you know each other's nuances and you kind of know how each other like to operate and where each other will jump in on each other, the dynamic now that there's all that familiarity as well is really cool. And you can see that it doesn't actually matter what the arrangement is, because I know it's not always possible to get all four in at the same time, because there are different, life pulls people in different directions. But it actually then doesn't matter seemingly who the lineup is. You guys just kind of all fall into beautiful places and you kind of know your roles and stuff. And it's really great radio. And I've been enjoying the hell out of GG. I tell Ian, I listen to it twice every week. I listen to it on Apple and then I listen to it on Spotify. I love it.
Yeah, it's been really good, and thanks to everyone for their support. Like, we put a bit like, we kind of took Taylor's lead there, where he puts it out into Facebook groups, and that's where the reactions have come from. Most of them now have been in NFL Fans Down Under, and we've been getting heaps a week, so it's been really good.
That's the thing, Isaac. You reach out to 10 people, 8 of them put restraining orders on you, and then you're hoping the other 2 might start listening to the show. So that's the way I do it.
I don't know if you've done it, Tay, but I copy and paste pretty much the same message to send out to people that put on the reaction show. And one guy wrote back and was like, "Who is this guy?" I was like, "Oh, sorry, man."
Love it. Especially that, that's something I think the network has really benefited from this year, is that there is definitely a lot more willingness from the community to engage, and that we are getting more things that are fed by the listeners telling us what they want. And that is so valuable. And I think that just makes the shows more fun to listen to too. If you know you've had some influence on it, or you've put something out in the ether and the show might talk about it, then they do. And for us, it's a real thrill because you know you're doing that for somebody as well, and it's kind of making their day and helping a situation for them, either in their fandom or for us here in hopefully the way they're managing a fantasy team and they get some success out of it. It's all very rewarding all round. So that's kind of the goal. That's what we've been, that's what you're aiming for, right?
That's right, yeah. You just want to get out there, put your opinions out there and chat about football. Like, that's what we're all here about, so let's do it.
And didn't Isaac say in the preseason on GDAY GRIDIRON, I believe, that the Panthers were going to win the Super Bowl because, was it Jennifer Lopez or someone, every time she gets divorced or something? I can't, you can tell it better. I can't remember exactly what the thought process. But they're having a pretty good year, to be honest.
Not just Jennifer Lopez getting divorced. It's not just that. But
set the scene.
The year before, the Ohio State Buckeyes, they win the national championship. So last year, the Buckeyes won the championship. Yeah. This year, J-Lo got divorced. Before the last Panthers Super Bowl, J-Lo got divorced.
Okay.
And before that, they had the worst record in their division. Last year, they had the worst record in their division. And then they go and make the Super Bowl. So there's a lot of holes lining up in that cheese. And the Bucks need to start getting moving. Otherwise, the Panthers are coming.
They're having a lot better season record-wise than I think a lot of people would have picked. So, I mean, even if the Super Bowl doesn't come out, it's not exactly the worst call because they're definitely on the better side than a lot of people thought. So, look, who knows? They're still alive. Anything could happen.
I've got a water bet with the Bells, with the boys on GDAY GRIDIRON, that the Panthers will win the division. So, we'll see how we go.
That'll displease Ian immensely.
I can hear him fuming from here.
What's funny about that division is it's often the Falcons who are terrible, but then they end up winning like 7 games or something like that. And you go, I don't remember the 7 you won. But the Panthers are that this year. They're winning games, and I think they can come into the week with a winning record or they're 5-5.
They're 6-5 at the moment.
6-5. And there you go. It's like, but how?
They've beat the Falcons, and the Falcons can keep losing, please, because the Rams have that unprotected pick.
I was going to bring that up. I was like, I know we're a fantasy show, but you've brought up the Falcons, but that is an absolute abomination of a trade. Like they are seriously going to get like a top 10 pick, the Rams, out of the Falcons. Well, I don't know what the Falcons were thinking that they thought they were going to be some kind of contender with that trade that they did. It reminds me of the bloody sorry to cross from fantasy to real NFL, now to the NBA. Well, I was more thinking the bloody Pelicans trade to the Hawks, where they gave up their first for Derek Queen, and now all of a sudden they own their fucking Pelicans first, and the Pelicans are shit house. Like it is honestly like you should get fired for that. Like that is like that sets your entire franchise so far back. It's unbelievable.
At the moment, I think they've currently got pick 8, the Rams.
That's insane.
That's mad. Absolutely mad. And I mean, I don't know that there's a pathway for that to improve for the Falcons, to be honest. If now they are turning to old faithful lettuce sandwich Kirk Cousins, and I mean, these days he's not even as refreshing as a lettuce sandwich. He's kind of like a lettuce sandwich that you find in the bottom of your kid's school bag that's 3 days old that they just forgot to get
moldy.
out. And that's the Kirk Cousins we're facing now. After Taylor brought back lettuce sandwich references last week, I think it's high time, Tay, that we enshrined a new lettuce sandwich, but then the old one's back, so...
Knowing the Rams, I'll probably trade it and go all in. They'll probably end up with fucking like Myles Garrett or something. Like they'll end up probably trying for win now again, and they'll just end up with some ridiculous asset. I'm not saying that they should do that. I'm just saying it's something that they seem to be able to do. They don't seem to hold all their firsts. I know they did one really well with Verse on the defensive side, so they might just do that. But look, in the end, the fact that they even have that pick is unbelievable, and they're a contender this year. I think a lot of teams. Someone actually asked me last week if I had to pick a team in the NFC that was going to the Super Bowl. I actually said the Rams. Like I don't think that's a hot take, but I just really like their structure. I like their defense, and I've talked them up in the preseason for fantasy. I just love their assets. My best take of the preseason by a mile was Devontae Adams to lead the league in touchdowns, and I'm still pretty happy with that call.
Yeah, because he's got like 10, and most of them in the last month and a half. Like
He's
really come on.
he's the only wide receiver in the league that's like a goal line running back. Like he's somehow they'll be on the one and they just chuck it to fucking to him. Like it's unbelievable. I said to you last week, Matty C, that he does that thing what they talk about in the draft scouting where he can basically make you miss in a phone box. Like he's so good with his route running that he seems to be able to get space even though there's no space there. It's like Puka's so good at just like, contested catches and just getting volume, but Devontae Adams like can literally run a route with only 1 yard of space and get himself open. Like he's just a freak.
Yeah, he's a magician. He's a fucking magician, and we're going to miss him when he's not in the NFL anymore. And for a guy who I don't think anyone projected he was going to have the career he's had when he was like a late-ish round pick for the Packers and kind of not a factor at all in his first year or two, and then bang, all of a sudden he's kind of emerged and has been incredible ever since. He's a real treasure, and him going to the Rams would just seem like such a coup, didn't it? It's like people are like, they'll eat off each other, they'll cannibalize each other. No. Matt Stafford is a terrific quarterback. McVay is not an idiot. Do you think he's going to turn around and hand it off to Kyron Williams or Blake Corum 41 times a game? No.
He's made Stafford into a fantasy asset. It's what you and I brought up in the preseason. And I think it was Ian was on one, and I think someone had asked me a question about Puka and Adams, and I said I think they're both in the top 12 this year. I think Puka will edge him out because he's just going to have so much volume, and then there's always the upside of if he has touchdown bump, because it's like he doesn't need touchdowns to be dominant, but if they just happen to get some, like get a 45-yard rushing touchdown, I think earlier this year against Tennessee. It's like anyone can fucking score a rushing touchdown against Tennessee. But like he has the upside there, but I was like, I just think like an Adams is going to have too many touchdowns to not be in the top 12. And what are they sitting at, like 4 and 9? I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but they're both just super up there. So it was definitely one of our better calls.
100%. And I just got Devontae Adams in every league I could, and it turns out pretty much every league I couldn't. You have Devontae Adams in that league, so there you go. We definitely eat what we order, don't we?
Yep, he's in my Astro League team. It's sitting at 9-2 in the 1 seed, so definitely can't complain.
Well, Isaac, while we've got you and Taylor with all your levels of expertise coming 10th and 11th in a 12 team, like, can we drag you through a couple of the segments that we like to think help some of the folks out there, especially in a segment like Breakouts, where we get to talk about some of the really great players in fantasy. I was ready to dive in, and we'll go through a few of those this week.
Let's do it.
GDAY Gridiron.
Anyone that hasn't joined us before, it's pretty simple. Let's kick it off, eh? Is everyone ready?
The 4 horsemen of NFL in Australia.
If the sound ever plays, the pick is officially in.
Nick the lineman.
So it's the worst against any team, and it's also the worst passer rating that he has against any team at 66.3.
Brad the coach.
The Steelers have held the Ravens under 20 points in 7 straight games.
Isaac the analyst.
For this one, I couldn't understand it either. Like, I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Ian the Viking.
Full of passion, full of fight. They might genuinely be interesting to watch again.
Previews, overreactions, and bloody best bets.
If Derrick Henry can get rolling, then I think it's no contest. The Ravens are going to win.
As a fan of the NFL, you hope he comes back because he's just an absolute beast when he gets on there.
That would be able to give, at least Justin Fields a chance to be able to build.
Let's move on after that insanity.
So I just think, though, it's going to stop here.
Defensively for the Bills, I don't think that's actually going to combat what the Chiefs do already.
Yeah, I guarantee Pete would get down on his knees for that.
GDAY Gridiron.
I love spreadsheets. I'm a spreadsheet man.
I love spreading my legs.
Twice a week, all season long on the Aussie Gridiron Network.
I'm bombing in the pool.
Yeah, throw yourself in too, Tay, because last week I feel like some things went really well. I mean, Herbert at Jacksonville didn't go so well for you, but Henderson, oh my God. He had 3 touchdowns by himself.
I got unlucky on the other one with an early injury, but it was just hilarious that I said that they combined for 3, but they both needed 1. So I always feel like I put a caveat that ruins my actual take in the end. But to be honest, I was on such a high with Henderson. I was down in Canberra working. I was watching it. I I'd made a massive deal on our Supercoach podcast and had messaged one of the main sort of groups on that that I was playing Travion Henderson over both Saquon and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I think I even brought it up on this podcast to you on the Friday show, and I was like, and I'm vice captaining him. So when he was just going nuts and scoring all the touchdowns, I was just on cloud nine. What was hilarious, and I'll bring that up on the Supercoach podcast, is it actually screwed me putting the vice captain on him, because I always have the captaincy on Josh Allen, and I didn't this week because I what they call looped the Travion score, so I lost 30 points because fucking Josh Allen had 89. So funnily enough, after it actually didn't work amazing, but the fact I just played Henderson over those guys, and like it definitely outscored the other two. So that was something that definitely worked out well. But just back to our breakouts, just having him as one of my breakout running backs worked out to be a very good call.
You got 3 touchdowns between the two of them, even though Jalen Warren contributed as many touchdowns as I did and Isaac did to that total. Say, Isaac, it was nice for you to be part of that multi, by the way. I don't know if you knew you were in it, but the 4 of us had to combine for 3 touchdowns and Travion Henderson got them all.
It was what was it? That's all right.
He's gone. It's gone. This is something that I have a special talent for, Tay, is distracting people to the point they can't keep their train of thought. That's why I'm a radio host.
I was just going to say, I even played Jalen Warren. I like people to realise that I follow my takes. Like, I played him over Saquon in a guillotine league, and then obviously copped it with the injury. Luckily enough, still survived. But it was just like proof in the fact that I when I look into this stuff, I definitely follow myself on my own takes. I don't just shy away from big calls like that. And I just didn't like Saquon's
injury. You can't predict that. You can't predict that. And you're just going on, okay, given what we know, these players are healthy going into the game. If they play the full 60 minutes, which I should expect, what do I expect? And we expected Jalen Warren to outscore Saquon. And you can't predict the guy's going to mangle his fucking legs up. That's all. So.
That's it. Just follow the process. Just liked his matchup better and just didn't work out. Kenny Gainwell definitely worked out for our world team.
Oh, my God, he did. I'll get to Josh's breakouts in a sec too, but I just want to say too, like Waddle over in Espana, he played okay, but we're after a lot more points. And Gadsden against the Jags. No one scored fuck all against the Jags.
That was the worst. That was the worst stack. And I'll be honest, like I like to sort of look at things and then just like take something from it. I'm really struggling to see the Chargers passing game being amazing going forward because they cannot protect Herbert. Like the injuries on the offensive line have just been absolutely brutal. Like losing Slater before the season and then losing Joe Alt, it's just been brutal. Like and the problem is that Herbert doesn't himself look healthy. So even the running game that I had mentioned in the podcast, it looks to me like he's struggling to even do that. So I'm a bit worried about that entire offense moving forward because if they can't protect Herbert, they're just not going to be able to do anything. And they just got boat raced in this game. And normally that helps the passing game because they can sort of, start eking out some sort of, second half, fantasy stats. But it just didn't happen for them in this game.
No, shut him right out. The thing I think about Herbert is it's going to be difficult to have confidence starting him in any format, I think, going forward. Unless it's 2 quarterback and he's your 2, it's tough. Josh's picks, I'll just go down quickly. He had Drake May for 1 million points on the Thursday night, and it turned out it was Henderson who got them all. Josh Jacobs, who got hurt, so like he just really lost the opportunity to bank there. Justin Jefferson, who I was desperate for him to be right on this. We're still not right on Justin Jefferson. He is refusing to score fantasy points, and he's pissed about it. You can see he's pissed. He's not. And Fergie got the touchdown against Vegas, so nice for 14. So he was in the ballpark. I like that.
Ferg's still a touchy subject after my 0.01 loss.
We're talking about this in the green room. A league where you can lose by 0.01 as well. Super fascinating. But Ferg, last catch of the day.
1/10 of the yard.
Wouldn't that fuck you off? I had Baker for 25 plus against the Bills. He scored a bunch, but not as many as I would have hoped. Josh Jacobs, I was in on that. So Jamar Chase, that was a great call. And Kate Otten, he did some stuff, but he didn't score enough points. So it turns out breakouts was a pretty lean week if you didn't have Taste Travion Henderson pick. And even then, if you took him at the letter of the law or what he picked, he didn't get it. But I mean, I find it hard not to celebrate that. Tay, well done.
Yeah, we'll dine off that, mate. We can cut all the rest. just tell everyone that we're all in on Hendo.
Yeah, that's it. So I reckon good opportunity now to start looking to this week. Isaac, what we like to do when we bring folks in is to start on a position where you feel like you've got somebody who's a bulletproof breakout, and we'll take your hottest piece of advice straight out of the gate.
Don't mention anything about bullets around Ricky Pearsall either.
Brian Robinson.
I'll go with a running back first.
Love it.
And it's Jahmyr Gibbs versus New York.
Interesting.
The Giants, I think they're playing.
Yeah, at home versus the Giants.
Yeah, I believe just the Lions are just going to be pissed off that they lost to the Eagles last week. They're going to try and ram it down the Giants' throats, and Jahmyr Gibbs will be the beneficiary there with a touchdown guarantee.
I love Jahmyr Gibbs, and I like that you found a way to put the word ram in there as well. Just surreptitious, but I know it was deliberate. I'm on to you. Tay, it's hard to go past this, right? Isaac's all over this.
It sure is, and I'll jump on Isaac's back here and probably flatten him. But I've taken Monty against the Giants as my running back this week. I just got a feeling like there's been one thing I feel like I've been able to pick pretty well this year, and it's been like what I think's going to be a Monty game and what's going to be a Gibbs game. Like there's kind of criteria I've sort of held on to in terms of like whether the team. It's almost like the good running back defenses are actually bad against Gibbs because he gets on the outside and he gets a lot of catches and he's the more silky smooth runner. Whereas it's the really bad rushing defenses that struggle against Monty because he's kind of going up the middle and he's barging through and that's where he seems to get touchdowns. So that's why I've taken Monty against this Giants team. They're 31st against the running back position in fantasy. They're just giving up so many yards on the ground. I've just got to, I'm like Isaac, like I love taking the Lions off a loss. I brought it up against the Commanders a couple of weeks ago when they'd lost a game and they just absolutely came out and torched the fucking Commanders. I think that happens again where Dan Campbell just fucking gets his massive fucking cock out and just slaps it across their face. So yeah, I'm in for Monty here. I like the Gibbs call too, but I'm gonna I don't know what I was thinking, but I think Monty gets 2 touchdowns.
Whoa! But this is not outside of the bounds. Like we see the dumbest thing about the Lions is we see them do this. They'll go and score 3 rushing touchdowns and open the game, and you go, well, they'll never have to pass. And then all of a sudden they peel out a passing game and throw 2 more. It's like
they're up 41-7, and then just like, nah, that's not enough. Like, Jared Goff just pegs one down to fucking Isaac Tesla or something. Like the Lions just don't give a flying fuck. But I don't know. I just got this feeling this is one of those games where a lot of these touchdowns on the goal line just go to Monty. I wouldn't be surprised if Gibbs has like the better game in terms of like yardage and things like that. That's why I didn't take a yardage total or a fantasy total on Monty. I've just got a feeling he's going to get used a lot on the goal line. So I'm just going to go out there and say it's 2 touchdowns.
What I like too about it is that, you know, these two don't cannibalize each other. You can actually both win on this, and I like that.
Yep.
I just went straight to the top of the pile and took Christian McCaffrey to have 2 touchdowns against Carolina. If he doesn't bash it in from, you know, close, then he's probably catching a pass. He's actually had more receiving yards than rushing yards this year as well. He's had more than 700 of both, and we have still got 6 games to go. Oh my god! So yeah, he's because I haven't had a bye yet. So like he's got plenty of opportunity to bang in touchdowns against them, and he's so much of their point scoring. So I just went with CMC at home versus the Carolina Panthers, the 6-5 Carolina Panthers. Tate, where do you want to go next? What do you got? Quarterback, wide receiver, tight end?
I've got something I want to talk about, and it's not exactly specific to the player I'm picking or in a position or whatever, but I'll pick the player and I'll say why I think he's got an awesome matchup. And then I actually want to talk about the team he's playing against and why I think they're what they call a bit of a rainbow strip team, where that I believe this team could be the one you target, whether it's their players or the players playing against that team. I'm just sort of based off what I'm kind of seeing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Tedero and McMillan up against the Niners. been watching this guy closely. Like in my main sort of dynasty league, I picked him with the 3rd overall pick. I've just loved him from the get go. You've heard me talk a lot about him, Matty C. I just love him. He's so good in the contested catch area. He can also break free if he needs to. I just thought he'd be Bryce Young's best friend, and I've even noticed that even when Bryce Young's had his struggles and barely thrown for 100 yards, it always seems like Tet's still up there with like 50 of them. Like he's just getting such a high percentage of the passing attempts and the passing yardage. I've seen nothing on film that has like gone against anything I thought before. If anything, I think this guy is starting to break out now like a lot. And obviously having Bryce Young actually have a pretty good passing game obviously helped with the 400 plus yards last week. But the Niners, I want to actually touch on a bit. They're 28th against the wide receiver position, but they are just going backwards and backwards in defense at the moment. They are getting absolutely torched, and offensively they're actually doing quite well. And I brought up last week that yes, Mac Jones was doing fine, but Purdy I just thought was going to be amazing for Kittle. They've just got a connection, and what I believe is because this defense is struggling so much, they cannot rush the passer. Like Bryce Young's going to be able to fucking stand there behind his fucking offensive line that he can't see over for fucking like 10 years because no one's going to be able to rush him, and I just don't think this Niners defense is going to stop anyone moving forward. So what I'm saying is play Tet with absolute confidence this week against the Niners. I also because I brought up in the preseason that I was targeting the Cowboys because I thought their defense was terrible and they were going to be in shootouts. I think you're going to see way more shootouts for the Niners moving forward. This isn't to say that I think like Brock Purdy's the best bloody quarterback in the league or I feel like he's just going to be just lights out, but I feel like there's going to be so many points coming on the other side that I think you're going to want to start as many Niners. We all know CMC we're going to start and Kittle, but honestly, I'd be looking to start Purdy in a lot of moments. I'd be starting any of the wide receivers that are healthy in those moments because I just think they're going to need to score points. So start Tet with confidence this week, but look for the Niners games because I think they're going to be a lot of high-scoring Niners games moving forward.
I love that call. I love the Panthers as we've been talking about, and I think last week was a turning point for Bryce Young. I mean, throwing a franchise record, they may have actually unlocked that offense with a lot of yards going to what's his name, Leggett. He had a really good game, as well as Jalen Coker. So you've got your three wide receivers. You got Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard there. I think last week would have really unlocked Bryce Young, and I really like that call, Tay.
It's funny because initially a few people were worried for Tet because like Coker and Leggett were actually starting to like when they're both there, they're worried that there's going to be too much share, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, having those two there seem to open up Tet even more. I don't know, it helps the offense in general. Like my issue with Tet's always been that there's not a big enough pie. Like there's not enough big enough pie for it to go around. Even if he has 50% of it, if it's only 50% of 100 yards, it's a 5 for 50 game. It's not anything amazing for fantasy. But if Coker and Leggett come in and Bryce is throwing for 300 plus yards, he doesn't need 50%. Like he can actually have like more like 20 to 30% and actually have a 100-yard game. And that's when things actually really, really turn for him and this offense in general. So I just think this is a perfect matchup if Bryce has turned it around. I see it happening. There's going to be points from the Niners on the other side of the ball. So I just think that this is the kind of game that you want to target for fantasy, in my opinion. And it's funny because I used to always say the opposite. I didn't like teams going to San Francisco because when they obviously had Bosa and they had all these great defensive pieces, even when they had injuries, it always felt like there was a chance of a game in San Francisco just being shitty, like dour affair. I think I remember the Rams going there. I know it was shitty weather and there was a game where it was like 7-6 or something. I can't remember what the exact score was.
9-12 and it was all field.
9-12, there you go.
Completely fucked. But the Rams were winning.
I knew it was filth. And I think I still think of that sometimes with games in San Francisco, but it's the complete opposite this year. Like, please target their games, whether it's their players or the players against them.
Did you call this a rainbow strip team? Is that what?
Yeah, it's sort of like a thing in fantasy where like the whole rainbow strip is like from Mario Kart, where you're hitting a rainbow strip and going forward. And the idea is that in fantasy, that if their defense is just an absolute abomination, that there's just going to be many more opportunities on offense, and they're going to be in hurry up situations. And yeah, just hit the rainbow strip and go massive, especially at this point of year when we've got very few weeks left. You're looking for that kind of team that's going to dominate the last few weeks in fantasy. So they're a team I'm sort of throwing in a hat in the ring that I think they could be very fantasy relevant, whether it's them or the other team playing against them.
I like that. That'll make a nice visual for our podcast art for this week, the Rainbow Road. And when you said it, I'm like, this sounds like a Mario reference. I'm kind of glad that's probably what it's. Mate, do you have a line for Tet? I mean, I love your analysis on this.
Yeah, so I went to that quick because I was like, I know I'm going to be on a bit of a soapbox on this one. I won't spend as much time on the other ones. But yeah, for Tet, I've got him for 20. I don't know where I came up with this number, if it's like a Jordan thing, but I said he's going to have a 23 plus PPR points.
Plus. When he started with 20 and you go, I don't know why, I'm like, it's going to be like 20.4 or something like that. I was like working. How granular is he going to get?
I was like working in my head. I'm like, I think he's going to go 7 for 110. 6 for 110 and a touchdown. And I'm like, what does that work out to? 23? There's my line.
Did you say touchdown?
I know. I know. Chuck the touchdown guarantee in there.
Yeah. I can't get enough of that bell. Isaac, what do you want to do with your wide receiver, mate?
Wide receiver, I tried to go someone who I don't think many people will look at because he's the number one wide receiver on his team. But Chris Olave this week against the Falcons. Now, the reason I'm going that way is Tyler Shook had his first game before the bye against the Panthers, and he targeted Olave, who put up 21 fantasy points. And after a big week from Tet against the Falcons, I just think they are ripe for the picking in that secondary, and that Olave is going to get a hell of a lot of targets. So I've got him going for over 20 points and a touchdown guarantee. Ring that bell.
Come on. Love that. Tay, what do you reckon?
Boys, can I whisper something to you? So no one, this is a safe place and it's only us three, right? No one else is listening. Yeah. I kind of like Tyler Shook. I think he's actually pretty good.
Too loud.
Do you know what my guarantee for this game is? I'm guaranteeing the Saints beat the Falcons.
Yeah, well, the Falcons are dirty.
I really like them this week. I actually just think that I think there's signs. I don't know if I've got a low bar that I thought Shuck was coming into, but from what I've sort of watched of him on film, I actually kind of don't mind him. I thought he was really impressive in that Panthers game. And you're right. I wanted to see what he did in terms of targeting Olave. Obviously, Shaheed's gone, and I was like, I've got Olave in one of my main sort of dynasty leagues, and I just wanted to sort of see how that was going to play out. And yeah, I was really, really stoked with the target share and how he looked in the pocket. And I don't know. I'm not saying he's like this amazing, like God's gift or anything right now. And he's still definitely on the lower side in terms of like quarterbacks I'd want in the fantasy side. But I don't know. I like what Isaac said about the target share. And I actually am very confident in Olave this week as well. And, I mean, we'll talk about tight ends and stuff, but there's other guys like in that team that I think I'm a bit more confident than I probably was before as well. And yeah, I think Shuck could actually be a bit of a step up from Rattler.
Yeah, I mean, not that Rattler was
no,
but
he was okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we all came in with the absolute lowest of low bar for both Rattler and him, and it's like, I don't know. I'm just seeing signs like Rattler was more like a real NFL, like where he kind of was like holding them in games because he didn't want to make a mistake at all. And it just like his stats were never good, but it was almost like, oh, this team's a bit frisky, but it wasn't so much because of Rattler. It was just because the team seemed to be able to actually play for their coach and stuff. Whereas Shuck, I don't know, he's showing me signs already. Now he could come out and be in a fucking disaster this week. And I know it's still early, but I don't know. I'm just sort of playing my flag a little bit that I think there might be something there.
I just want to play a quick game of trivia with you, lads, too. Like, before the Saints went on their bye, I reckon most people would have thought Olave kind of had a bit of a stank on him that he probably wasn't delivering, right? But do either of you know where he ranked in wide receiver PPR before they went on the bye?
I reckon he would have been about 15, 16.
Okay.
I'd say 12.
Yes, Isaac?
I was 12.
It's wide receiver 9.
Oh, Jesus.
And I think if you were an Olave owner, which it sounds like a few of us cross legs are, I've definitely got one share of him somewhere. I don't think you think of him like that. And he's off the bye now and still wide receiver 12. And that's so he really he'd only had 2 games prior to the bye and then shot coming in where he'd had less than 10 targets. It's just the depth of target wasn't very good. The catch rate on those targets wasn't very high because the accuracy wasn't fantastic. So, the days for Olave weren't as bad as we thought, and now they look like they could be better. So this might be one that if you are savvy about how you package it, you might actually be able to sneak the Olave owner out of Olave if you have some faith. So it's just, I just kind of thought you'd find that interesting because I've kind of had my eye on him for a couple of weeks, and it's just surprising how much better he's performed in terms of fantasy than I think people would imagine. Because, again, I don't think if you're an Olave owner, you generally, you can't have Olave. He's too valuable. I don't think that's the narrative.
It's always up.
Last year, the game after he had one of his concussions, I traded DK Metcalf to Rogan in our Dynasty League for Olave and a first because the thought process at that point was like he might not even play again. Like I was just like, all right, I'll take Olave back because at least like there's still upside for him if things go right for him in his career, blah blah blah. But then at least if it doesn't, I'll get the first back as well. Now all of a sudden, honestly, Olave looks fucking better than Metcalf, so it's been a pretty good trade.
Metcalf looks dreadful, which is mainly to do with Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers. I think more than DK being terrible. I think DK's still DK.
Oh, I completely agree.
And he's just losing his mind in shitty Pittsburgh. But anyway, that's a Metcalf problem, and he's got more problems if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play because it doesn't get better. Olave against Atlanta, I think everyone against Atlanta, everyone's number one wide receiver against Atlanta is not a bad bet. 20 points. Throw that touchdown in there. I love that. I went with, I just went to the top of the pile again and looked at, I've had CMC, and I'm going to JSN. Not intentional that I've got guys who are identified by their initials, but against Tennessee, I just don't think Seattle are going to show any mercy. They got beaten in a tough game last week at the Rams, and I think they still want to show that they're, really, really worthwhile of people being frightened of them and to go and just put the cleaners through a Tennessee team who showed a lot of pluck last week. I think that'll be good for everyone's ego. Over in Seattle, so JSN looking like the best receiver in the league, to be honest. 20 points. Throw the touchdown in there. Why not? 20 points, including a touchdown for JSN.
Love it.
Isaac, do you want to lean on your tight end or do you want to go to your quarterback for the next round of breakouts?
Let's go quarterback. I'm going to go Drake May against Cincinnati because that defense is absolutely fucking horrible.
Oh, no.
It is so bad. I've got him for 25 plus points. Plus, I just want to put an honourable mention in there for Lamar Jackson against the Jets. I was tossing up between those two, and I just went Drake May because he's playing Cincinnati defense.
Do you want to combine them and just name both and go 50 plus combined? You could do that. Tay does these exotic fucking things all the time.
Oh, mate, let's combine them and go 60 plus.
60.
You have no idea how funny this is. Last week, I sat there with Drake May written down, and I was like, and then Josh took him before me, and I'm like, in this segment, we don't normally care. We just like, whatever. But I was like, I've got to pivot. I'll fucking go to Herbert, whatever. This week, I wrote, you know what? I want redemption because last week it worked out for Henderson. I'm taking Drake May at quarterback against the Bengals, and I'm like, I laughed, and I'm like, you know what? I'll write someone else down just in case, like it happens to go before me. And then I wrote down Lamar Jackson against the Jets, and then Matty's like, and then you say Lamar, and then I'm like, okay, well at least I'm going to get Lamar, and you're like, no, put them together, just put them together. So I'm like, okay, so can I just hop on board with fucking Isaac? Like, let's just
I do this all the time. I hopped on board with Josh Jacobs last week. I hop on board with one or other of the calls all the time. You don't have to bring someone unique. I mean, if you
no, you don't. It was just,
and you've already done that research too. You just jump on and go, here's why I think too. You know. So, do you have anything particular about him as well?
Oh, it's just the matchups, and Ivy. I mean, sorry to bring up the Supercoach pod again, but I brought up a couple of weeks ago when Lamar first came back was with Lamar, maybe wait a couple of weeks. Obviously, that was a Supercoach specific thing in terms of buying him, but I was like, maybe these aren't the two awesome matchups for Lamar. He's just coming back. It was basically at the Vikings and at the Browns, and the Browns specifically have a very, very good defense, especially at home. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't know if these are like plus matchups, but as soon as he gets out of those two, it is just plus matchup after plus matchup in fantasy. Like, he goes on an absolute run here. So I just felt like, the Bengals were pretty obvious with May. Like, Drake May's just tearing up even good defenses. So the Bengals are going to suck. And I think the Bengals, even without Jamar Chase, they might be able to still put some scoreboard pressure because the Pats are actually susceptible to the pass. So I think Flacco might still be able to hit T. Higgins and they might still be able to move the ball. So I think that'll keep Drake May going. And then Lamar.
Chase Brown's a thing again, which is nice, So there's other ways to move the ball now.
I just think Lamar, too, off last week where he struggled, I just think this could be the get-right game for him. This could be the game where everyone goes, holy shit, Lamar's back. And the Jets, they traded away pretty much all their best defensive pieces at the trade deadline. And so they're a kind of team I'm looking to target moving forward in fantasy anyway. I just figured Lamar, you'd think he'd be healthier with that injury 3 weeks removed. Just thinking this could be the get-right moment for him.
I like that you've got both. Drake May is looking great. You've got Lamar Jackson, combine them for 60 points. I don't think that's a crazy number either because Lamar could set him on fire. And we've seen Drake May.
Oh, yeah, against the Bengals, mate. You could play them on the fucking moon. Their defense is going to suck everywhere.
That's my favourite thing. You could play them in the fucking car park at Aldi. Yeah. It wouldn't matter. I like that. I went to Hurts, who's had a couple of interesting weeks, and now that he's playing against Dallas, even in Dallas, I just don't care where they play Dallas. Dallas aren't very good. And I know that they just gave the Raiders a bit of a touch-up, but it's the fucking Raiders.
That was more about Geno, I think. I was laughing in the group chat. I was like, Geno is doing the unthinkable and making this Dallas Cowboys defense actually look half decent. Yeah. I know they traded... I do think there's the one part of the Dallas defense that I think is going to be better is their rush defense. I think what they did, obviously, with Quinn and Williams, I do think that when you look at the fantasy stats, you probably should throw out the rush defense a little bit. Yeah. But if anything, I think that's just going to make them more susceptible. I know Bland had a pretty good game, but again, it was the Raiders. I think they're still going to be very susceptible to the pass.
They don't have a receiver who would be a 1 on any team. They don't have a receiver who would probably be a 2 on any team. They're not very good. They don't have any firepower. But the Eagles do, and after the squeaky wheel gets the grease, all of a sudden AJ Brown's a thing, and it's 1 million targets and the touchdown and a bunch of yards. It's like, okay, so the Eagles can still do it. It's been fine all year. He's been someone you could pick up off a waiver wire after about 4 weeks, and he's been great. I just took Hurts for 4 total combined touchdowns because he's still going to push it in from a yard or two, but he'll pass a few. I just think they're going to run up a total on Dallas because amazingly Dallas are still the second team in this division. It's the Eagles, and Dallas are 4-5-1, and they're second, and it's amazing, but the other two teams in the division are actually worse than that. So I think they want to really put some distance and show the rest of the division this is a one team division. And Hurts, who's not been superb lately, I think we'll use this as an opportunity to be superb and remind people. The tight end round, I'm going to go first on this one, because it's against my precious Jags team, and I just took Trey McBride for a double touchdown guarantee against the Jags because we stink at the defensive round.
Can I jump in on that? So
you give your analysis because you're going to say it better than me.
Well, it was more like because I did something sort of a bit different with this situation because I was like, I'm taking Trey McBride, and it's like, well, fuck, like taking like literally the best fantasy tight end in the league. It's not really like bold or anything. So like I sometimes like to do something a bit different. So this would definitely sort of go hand in hand with your double touchdown guarantee. So what I've actually written down is that he will beat the tight end 2 on the week by 7+ points. So I was sitting there looking at a number and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to basically say that he not only gets tight end 1 this week, he fucking laps the field. So I would be looking for something in those like high 20s to like low. I mean, in tight end, you could probably score about 18 and fucking beat tight end 2 by 7. But
ours had 3 touchdowns on them 3 weeks ago. Yeah. So it's not like there's no precedent. You know,
pretty much my call is that he's tight end 1 with a bullet. Like I just think he's gonna lap the field this week. So I just put a number on how much he was going to beat tight end 2 by.
And I mean, it would help having Devin Lloyd back. That's great, but I mean, even then, like Gadsden isn't Brock Bowers. Gadsden isn't Trey McBride. So like you pick him as a breakout in a stack against the same Jags defense last week, but the Jags at home against a West Coast team traveling east in the early window. There's some things to consider there that you don't consider when the East Coast team goes west to play. This Cardinals team aren't horrible. Jacoby Myers knows where to go with the ball. So I'm just trying
Jacoby Brissett? You mean beef brisket?
Yeah, Jacoby. Well, and Jacoby Myers also knows that you pass the Trey McBride.
He'll be on the other side.
Yeah, he'll be on the sideline watching that happen, going, "Fuck, man, look at that."
Is that what you do?
Honestly,
so look, I like that. What do you? What's your line for Mark Andrews here?
Over 15 points for a tight end. That's pretty good.
15. Let's get that in there. That will be our breakouts for the week. I'll run them down because this has been fantastic. We've got. To kick it off at running back, we had Jahmyr Gibbs versus the New York Giants. A touchdown guarantee in that one, but in the same game, Tay had Monty against New York Giants with 2 touchdowns. I think that both of those can come up because Giants are horrible and the Lions love to pound the rock after a loss. And I took CMC for 2 touchdowns against Carolina, who've generally been a little susceptible up the middle against the rush. But either way, CMC catches passing touchdowns too. We then went into our wide receivers. We have Ted McMillan at San Francisco for Michael Jordan, 23+ points. It's an incredible amount of points. When Tay broke it down, he's like, 6, 1, 10 and a tutty. Tutty, ring the bell. We also had Olave for 20+ points and a touchdown against Atlanta, who are just terrible. And the shocking news that Olave is still a top 12 wide receiver on the year, even though he just had his bye week. He was top 10 going into that week. I took JSN for 20+ points against Tennessee in Tennessee. We then moved to our quarterbacks. So we had Drake May and Lamar Jackson. May at Cincinnati, Lamar Jackson home to the New York Jets. This is such a great call by Isaac that Tay also jumped in on, well, pretty much both. I
flattened him again.
60 points between the two.
Isaac's just a pancake. Isaac's a pancake at this point.
Yeah, and this is why I'm glad you don't jump in on my calls, Tay, because I'm even less likely to be able to support that.
What's like an inverse pancake? Like you'd be just like into the crowd.
Yeah, it's like a belly button. It's an innie. Yeah. Just like a crater. I don't know.
All I think of is the actor that played Newman in Space Jam. I will say Newman in Seinfeld, but he was in Space Jam, and where he gets like flattened and they just like pump him up full of air.
I like that thought, mate. If you're full of air, I could do that. But you spend so much time talking the hot air, I just have no confidence you have any in there.
Yeah, my wife knows, the air somehow gets funneled down the downstairs too much.
I bet, mate. Dutch ovens all around. The quarterbacks, I took I took Jalen Hurts for 4 total touchdowns against a piss weak Dallas defense. Even though they're at home, they're just not playing the Raiders. That's the thing. Our tight ends, Trey McBride for 1 million touchdowns against the Jags. In fact, I said 2, but Tay goes, he's going to be so good at tight end. He's not only going to finish tight end 1 on the week, he's going to lap the field and be at least 7 points higher in scoring than the second tight end on the week. And mate, we had a Mark Andrews sighting against the Jets. Stack that bitch up with Lamar Jackson, 15+ points. Rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown, doesn't matter. Probably receiving touchdown, but it turns out double threat. Look, that is Mark Andrews, 15+ points against the Jets for the Ravens. And that is our breakouts of the week. And to wrap up our Friday show, Isaac, you've done this before. Are you ready to go back into the tipping point again?
Yeah, I think last time I beat Kev, so let's keep that going.
Bloody Kev. That's not my fault.
Bloody Kev. This is a segment that it requires absolutely no research, which is kind of one of the fun bits about it. But you can play at home too. So let's fire it up and we'll bring in the tipping point. Last week, Tay, you actually won 4-1 over Josh in the end as well.
My best week. My best week. I'm on fire, Matty C.
You're 2-0 since you got back, mate. You're undefeated since returning.
I just had to get those shackles off me of those wankers that stepped in for the great Taylor name and ruined it. Ran it through the mud, Matty C.
Off my feet so I can dance.
I'm just gonna praise you. What you gonna do?
I just wanna praise you.
Gonna praise you.
You went a little higher than I thought you were going to go there, Isaac. That was bold.
I can get higher, Matty. Don't you worry.
You broke those chains now. I can't feel my hand.
Make sure you come up for the Sunday show, mate. Tay will make you sing. It was fantastic because I think now, Tay, if you actually take away the 3 weeks that you're kind of getting towed up by people pretending to be you in the segment, you would have 4 points and the world would have 4 points. So I think that you would
so back.
Yeah,
mate. But look, I'm the one
without you.
I'm the one who missed those weeks. So I've got to accept it. But you know what? It's not over, Matty C. The fat Taylor hasn't sung. Yeah. I'm not going to. I'm not going to sing yet.
This is not true.
That was really bad timing. That was horrendous timing. But anyway, we're going to move forward. It was a metaphor, I think.
Yeah, that'll do. Metaphors. Who believes in metaphors? But what it means is that was the skinny Taylor that sung, not the Taylor. Skinny Taylor. Yeah. Sure. I'll buy that. We had Baker for 21.5 points. Josh took the over on that. It was only he scored less than 18, which is kind of amazing considering how many points in that game.
It was all Sean Tucker.
Point there. You pick up the point. Or Sean Tucker. Not enough of them receiving touchdowns. Baker no running touchdowns or anything like that. It was mad. Sean Tucker. The better Tucker, I think you're fine. Jameer Gibbs, 18-plus points for Tay, and he goes and picks up 19.6, so a clear win for Tay there, 2-0. Jamar Chase, 23.8, the highest line I think I've seen in this segment ever, and he ended up with 6 before.
Lucky there's no aggregate on these. That would have been a real bad one.
Oh, my God. So Josh picks one up there. But then Kittle, you had him at 13.7. His projection was 14.1. He goes and throws up at 24.7. Just obliterates that number.
My boy.
So Tay gets to a 3-1 lead with Monday night to go. An unassailable lead before Dak on a 17.8 line goes and throws up a 24.32. So Tay, a 4-1 win.
Yeah, boy.
And you are back, mate. 7-4 is the aggregate score. Well, the series score now through 11 weeks. And Isaac, after cleaning up Kev when he was pretending to be Tay, you now get the pleasure of also saying you're undefeated in this segment and going after Tay.
Can this be a knockout blow if I win this week? Can't come back?
Close, mate.
Was it Baudo that came on and said that he could stay on, wasn't it, if he won? And then he proceeded to suck.
He lost 4-1. He ate a big bag of arseholes.
I'll name the segment after me. They'll name the segment.
Like onion rings. Yeah.
And then he was just as shit in starts, I think. Shout out Baudo.
Baudo had a shocker in starts. Baudo's running back Airbnb, I think, has been shut down.
I will say, though, his beef jerky he fucking reached out and gave me. My God, that was fucking good. So that makes up for it. Oh, it was fucking delectable. He gave me like this fucking...
Are we talking about real beef jerky or?
Yeah. Well, it's a euphemism as well, but there is actually real beef jerky involved, I swear.
Metaphors, euphemisms?
He gave me a Tupperware container of it, and like it literally didn't make it the way home. From Port Kembla to Fig Tree, I messaged him and went, he's like, how'd you like it? I go, it didn't make it home, mate.
It's like a 15-minute drive, 20-minute.
Yeah,
how long is it?
He gave me fucking heaps too.
And it was delicious.
Oh, it's so good.
Well, the smell would get you straight away, like that smokiness.
Yeah, I couldn't handle it. And I'm not a massive beef jerky fan, so even when he reached out, I was like, the fact he's even reaching out and asking, I was like, it'd be cool. I hadn't met him face to face yet either. I was like, you know what, I'll do it.
Cool.
But it was amazing. Like, it was so much better than any beef jerky I'd ever tasted before.
So good. Okay, Bowdo. So after all the disparaging, it sounds like you've won Taylor's heart back with the jerky. So
yeah, and the food was pretty good too.
yeah, I was wondering how I was going to get back there around to making the second level joke. I don't need you when I'm working with Tay. He goes to the second level joke straight away.
So many layers.
We're like onions, mate. Radio hosts are like onions. It's a Shrek reference.
Who weighs more, an onion or you?
Well, I actually don't know. But we'll get that organised in the off-season. I've been eating well, so it's probably close now. The tipping point segment this week, I've gone for a bit of a theme with the 4 players. These are folks who are sort of, fairly early in their NFL careers and all on the road this week.
Oh, not Shador.
I'm not going to, be lured into giving away anything, Tay.
Has there ever been a line that's been minus?
About to find out. What about he gave you like a line of like 5 for a tight end.
It was I started with 5 for fucking Ferguson, and he's just like, I'm out.
And he fucking obliterated it, didn't he?
Or something, yeah.
Yeah.
So Bowdo knows how to pick him. I've gone for youthful quarterback, youthful running back, youthful wide receiver, youthful tight end, youthful mystery meat. Tay, we love a good mystery meat. But they're all on the road as well. So there's a lot of wiggle room here, and I kind of thought this is going to be something where hopefully, again, some compelling lines, whether they're compelling because people just don't quite know where to go and it gets into the nitty-gritty of point, 10th of a point differentials, or whether it's the other way around and people are just... they've got a lot of confidence or no confidence. So I don't really mind how this goes because I think it'll be interesting to run. And again, you can play at home, everyone. You can play at home. You can decide where you think you should set the line, or you can just kind of look at where the line ends up and decide you go over or under and play along. So join in. I'm going to go to our guest first because I'm a gentleman. Oh, no, Isaac.
Loose term used there.
Not the only thing that's loose on me, but there you go. Mate, Tay got a bit crazy about this offense and the defense it's up against in the previous segment with the breakouts. I'm going to start with Bryce Young, who just had that amazing week. He goes to San Francisco. He's currently quarterback 23 on the year because he hasn't been there for every game. But San Francisco are bottom 10 against the quarterback for fantasy points. So there's a bit of background. Where do you want to start the bidding on Bryce Young? Once you get a line in, I'll tell you his projection on Sleeper as well.
Okay. I think, as I mentioned before, there's a bit of a turning point for him, so I'll start at 15 points.
We might have a Panthers bidding war. You got 2 of the guys that were in on the Panthers in the preseason.
And 15's a good line. God,
yeah.
That's aggressive.
Good start.
I will go to 16.
I'll go 17.
17.5.
I'll go 18.
Man, it's tough when I just talked about a rainbow strip against the fucking Niners.
Yeah. I didn't know that was going to happen, and I've literally just boxed you. It's fantastic.
I know. I think overall I'm going to take under just because of that line for him and in terms of how he's gone during the season. And the hope is that, yes, there could be a rainbow strip that could still turn into just a shitload of yards to Tet and then maybe rushing touchdowns to Rico. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take under 18.
He's probably not scoring 31.8 again. That's we get that, right?
Maybe.
And 18. Isaac, how do you feel about the line? How do you feel about the line, though, Isaac? Because 18.
I was willing to go to 20. Yeah, I was going to go up to 20, so getting him at 18, I feel really good.
Yeah, I kind of just have to remind myself all the time, 20 points is either 203 or 302, yards and touchdowns. So do I think that's a reasonable number? Well, 215 is probably a really reasonable number. His projection Sleeper is 16.3. So I don't think I don't think it's an unreasonable line. I like where you've gone with that, Isaac. Hey, Tay, I'm going to move to you on this one. We're going to go to the running back, which is a young running back on the road in Las Vegas this week. Running back 22 on the year named Quinshon Judkins. Turns out Las Vegas actually average in fantasy scoring against the running back. Where do you want to start the line on Quinshon Judkins?
I'll start him at 11.
Oh, that Vegas defense is fucking horrible. I'll go 13.
I'll go 14.
I'll go 14.5.
I'll take 15.
That was quick.
15.2.
Here we go. The game is
This is
on.
where the numbers get.
The game is on.
15.7.
16.
I'll take the under.
Yeah, he's doing the maths.
Damn.
Were you just trying to squeeze a little extra out of him there, Isaac?
I was.
Oh, fuck it.
I don't think. Yeah, it feels high, but I don't know. I think he could actually have a very good game against Vegas, and that it's one of those. Like, if you're looking for a good game for him, this is the type of team he could do it against because they could lead in this game. I know. If it's Sanders or whatever, it could be a nightmare, but we know it's going to be a nightmare from the other side from fucking Gino. So it actually could be a weird game where they can actually run more than they ever have been able to. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Judkins has actually a pretty decent game in this one.
I'd like to think they won't be trailing as severely.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not a full pass. It's not a full passing game script like they used to.
So really, with these, I sort of really thought about why they would be interesting. And his projection on sleep at the moment is 13.2, which I don't know. Once you started went in fast on the 15. I'm like, oh, Tay, that was aggressive. But then by 16, you're out. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's just
you fell off.
Just a range you have in your head. I think that was just sort of around where I was kind of happy to get him. And then, like you said, you could probably hear it ticking over in my head. I'm just sitting there. He doesn't catch a lot of passes. The full PPR probably isn't as relevant to him. It's like he's probably going to need a touchdown, 100 yards. Yeah, just sort of fell in that area.
15.7. Isaac, you could have been out at 15.7.
Yeah, just thinking about it. Just thinking about it now, though. If Shador is in the game, they're probably going to run a lot more.
Oh, so, I agree.
that bumps up his percentage of plays out there. So, I feel more comfortable when I thought about it more realistically that if Dylan Gabriel's not out there, then Shador's going to be out there and Stefanski doesn't trust him and he's not going to be throwing the ball much.
He'd be a good bet for yardage totals this week, I reckon. Honestly, the only reason I took under was it's almost guaranteeing a touchdown by taking that number. And I'm like, I don't know about if he's going to get a touchdown or how many red zone opportunities there'll be, but I think he's going to be touching on that 100 yards rushing. I think it is going to be somewhere around that 90 to 100. So I don't know what his over-under is, but I'd be taking the over.
I think 20 carries. No worries.
Yeah.
The other thing I think is, it's not like Dylan Gabriel's like a 350-yard passer. So, I'm going to move on to the next one, and it's a rookie wide receiver who is on the road against the LA Rams. It's Emeka Egbuka. He's currently wide receiver 8. This is where I thought Mike Evans was going to be this year, and Mike Evans is not there. The Rams are bottom 10 against fantasy wide receivers, and largely because they put teams in positions where they have to pass a lot. So it's not that the Rams are bad. Defense is it's a volume question, but that's what we're talking about. It's not about whether the Tampa Bay side's going to, give it to the Rams. It's about how many points are going to be on offer for wide receivers. I'm going to start with anti-Tampa Bay, Mr. Rammy Ram here, Mr. Panthers, anti-Buccaneer. Isaac, where do you want to go with Emeka Egbuka against your Remy Rams in SoFi?
Let's start him off high because this has shootout written all over it. Let's go 15.
That is high.
I'll go 16.
I'll go 17.
17.7.
Ooh. You can have him at 17.7.
Hey, all right. I'm with you because, I looked into last week and I'm like, why was he only 4 for 40? And then you kind of look at it and you're like, they just ran on the Bills the whole fucking game. Like, Sean Tucker was just dominating. Whereas they're not going to be able to do that to the Rams. They're going to have to throw in the air. There's just no way about it. So I just wonder if he's just going to get way more volume this week than he got last week. So,
and he can't run on the Rams.
there's potential for Bucky Irving to be back this week as well. Which then takes play action for Baker, which if he starts well, then the play action's there, which then opens up a Ibuka.
Absolutely.
There's also an opportunity that Godwin might be back, but I would imagine in a very limited role. So we're picking to see Godwin back. That is, throw him on a bench if he's not owned, whatever. But I don't think he's going to have an impact. So where you see that, don't confuse that with a problem for Ibuka. The 17.7 line for Ibuka is versus a projection of 13.6. So we're being positive. We're going for the upside. Going to move to the tight end, and we've got a rookie tight end. And I think we've kind of talked about wanting to really see something big out of him, and it just kind of hasn't happened yet. And I don't know if this is the week it's going to happen either, considering the quarterback situation for the New York Jets. But Mason Taylor goes to Baltimore on the road. They're all on the road. He's tight end, 26 on the year, which tells you it's not been amazing. But he has seen some targets, and it's got to be a matter of time, I think, before they start working on some of these places to go with the ball. They're not going to lead in many games. Baltimore are generally average against the tight end in terms of fantasy scoring. But Tay, what do you want to do with Mason Taylor?
I'll start him at 4.5.
This one's going to be tough in the other way, I think. Like, it's not going to be one of these 26.5, 26.58s. It's going to be a little bit more on the low end.
We were talking about it before. This may be another Beardo thing where I just, all right, see ya.
Did have that on the mind.
I'll go 5.
5.5.
I'll go 6.
Oh, you did.
6.7.
You can have your 6.7.
All right, I'll take
more
it.
than what it was going. I thought you would have went 6.5.
I'm at least a bit more interested in Mason Taylor this week with Tyrod instead of Justin Fields. I just think there is actually a better passing baseline there, and there's just no one else to throw to. I'm like, it's just a bit of a hope. I still like Mason Taylor. I think he's in for a good future. It's just such a shit situation at the Jets at the moment, but. Yeah, I'll take the over on 6.7. They're going to have to throw against this Ravens team, or Lamar's going to fucking tear them a new arsehole, so they're going to be throwing a lot.
It'll be 35-6 this game. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a line that's too low on this because we just haven't seen him sort of blow the doors off. But he is projected for 8.9 in sleeper. I kind of thought that was a bit princely.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I was going to 38. No, I got a bargain.
Well, we'll wrap this up with our young mystery meat, and nothing that we like here more than a young piece of mystery meat.
More beef jerky.
Exactly right. And I think you're going to like this one because this won't be a race to the bottom like we just had. The Detroit Lions are receiving the New York Giants, and we expect Jackson Dart to be back. He had been super interesting before the bye. Before he's had an injury, and he still has a bye to come. But having had that concussion and missing a week, he has still found a way to be quarterback 15 on the year, considering he didn't start till a bunch of weeks in, and he's also missed an additional game. So against a Detroit side who are top 10 against the fantasy quarterback, where do you want to go to open with Jackson Dart?
I'll start him at 12 because he's replacing my Jameis Winston.
I know, how dare he? 12. I'll go 13.
Okay.
He reminds me so much of a young Josh Allen. Let's go 14.
It'd be interesting too. I know it's probably pointless talking while we're still doing the guesses and stuff, but it'd be interesting to see how he comes out of this like concussion thing, because he goes and just throws his fucking head into everything. And it's like, well, have they actually chatted to him and said you got to run a bit less or something? So that could be interesting to see. But I'll go 15.
I'll bow out at 15.
Okay.
Ooh.
He's been a funny one. In Sizzle and Quinny's league, I've had him as my second quarterback, and he's been actually super consistent, and it's all his rushing baseline. Like, yes, he doesn't have the weapons of our neighbours there, but I don't know. He just, like the only question mark is what I just brought up. It's like, does he just rush less, like coming back, and like have they talked to him about like not taking those extra yardages? Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be the exact same script where it's like they're losing, he's going to just get out and run, and it's like if he has a touchdown on the ground and like 70 yards, he's almost there already. It's like, I don't know. I can see why people worry about him every single week. I wasn't in on him for a while in fantasy, but I don't know. He just seems to get himself there.
He does have a new coach, though.
That's true.
It's not a new coordinator, but a new coach. So the owners probably said to the coach that you don't run him the way Dable was running him.
Yeah, there will be a change for sure. I'll take the 15 just because he's, like I said, he seems to be able to find a way. But yeah, I don't know. The Lions will put up so many points, so at least he's going to be a good game script.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised because he's projected 19.5, and I did think this was going to go a little further. But I get the skittishness coming off the concussion, new coach. They definitely didn't get the new coach bump last week, even though Jameis kept them in the game. It's not like they played super well. They just happened to play against a team who was not playing well. But it'll be interesting to see how that one runs because, I've got to imagine that there's a difference about how Dart deploys, but also you can't stop the guy from just acting on his instincts a day. So I'll just be interested to see how that one works out because as Tay says, and this is a very super coaching to say, his base stats are fantastic because of how much he runs. It just kind of guarantees him a floor. 15 points on Jackson Dart as our mystery meat, and we'll work our way back upwards. Tay has been, again, after weeks and weeks of you saying, I'm a pessimist on this segment, I always seem to take the under. Last week you took 4 overs, and this week you've taken 3 overs. It's Jackson Dart, 15 points or more against the Detroit Lions in Detroit. Mason Taylor, 6.7 points or more against Baltimore in Baltimore. Emeka Egbuka, he's going to have 17.7 points or more on the road against the Rams. And then all of a sudden we see the whole thing flip again, and we've got Judkins on the road in Las Vegas, 16 points or more for Isaac, and then Bryce Young, 18 points or more against San Francisco in San Francisco for Isaac. They are our selections for Tipping Point. Decide if you have taken overs or unders on them, or if you've set your own line playing at home. And let us know about it. I'd love to hear if you're playing Tipping Point at home. Hopefully we can do something a bit interactive with this segment when we come around to doing a segment like this next year as well. We've sort of been working on some interactive stuff for next season in the background. But fellas, do you enjoy the segment at all? Is it I get a lot of fun. Do you guys even enjoy it?
Yeah, it's great.
I like it too.
About others.
It's fantasy relevant, but it doesn't feel like it has like, because we don't know what's coming and what player's coming. It's just a bit of fun on the spot. Like I've really enjoyed it, and for something that I literally came up with about a day before we started recording our first week 1 podcast, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out.
Yeah. And currently in this segment, Taylor trailing the world 7-4. But if you ask Taylor, he's really only 4-4 because he did play 3 of the weeks. But mate, his franchise took 3 losses while he was away, so it does affect his ability to make the playoffs. If Isaac wins this week, it puts it at 8, and that means Taylor's pretty much playing playoff football the rest of the year. We're going to week 17, and in week 18 we kind of do a wrap up. We're not really trying to project a lot there because we are firmly of the belief you don't play fantasy in week 18. So that'll get us there. Whoever gets to 9 first, and Tay, you're in playoff mode, mate.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I already am. I know technically I could have another loss, but no, mate, the playoffs started 2 weeks ago for me.
Yeah, and you've been playing like a 2-0 since the return, which is shows, mate, you were ready when you came back from the break, mate. You were fired up for this Tipping Point. Guys, we're going to wrap up the Friday show. It's been a bunch of fun. We've had Isaac come through and do the breakouts and the Tipping Point with us, but also we had a great banter in there as well along the way, and we'll have Isaac back for the Sunday show where we're going to get into the mailbag, and we're also going to get our famous starts of the week segment up. And you've got a bit of momentum to keep up, Isaac. After Josh won last week, you'll actually get to pick the draft orders. You've got a couple of days to place that carefully as well, mate.
I've actually kept an eye on it to know where I was picking. So, I'm excited.
You've also got the benefit. You've been on once before. You kind of got the cobwebs off now, mate. You're in mid-season form now, mate. I believe in you.
I may score over 20.
Yeah.
Don't go too far, mate. It's aggressive.
Catch all the Madcap Madness. Get back and catch us on Sunday. Do not forget to catch Isaac through GDAY GRIDIRON. You see him there all over the place. They do a reaction show middle of the week. And, of course, you got the Sunday slate where you guys pick the games that are must-watch and preview the Monday night game. I love hearing those, and especially the betting aspect. I'm not a bettor, but I'm always interested in how you guys talk about that. And you got to do a little bit of that on this show too with the tipping point. But your contributions there, man. Love it. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Tate, we see you on Sunday. Tipping point. It starts the week. You've got to defend your lead.
Absolutely, mate. I have to, part of my contract, but screw that. I'm happy to be there. Let's do it.
Also, don't forget to catch the pair of us idiots on Supercoach Halfer. It doesn't go for halfer anymore since we're both back, but it's really valuable, and I think both of us have really sort of hit the stride, and we're getting so much great listener involvement as well with the show. So make sure you catch the Supercoach Halfer every week. It's up on a Thursday. We'll catch you all on Sunday, fellas. Hooroo!
Hooroo! Thank you.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Thanks to the Aussie Gridiron Network, Australia's home for NFL and Australian gridiron content. Discover everything the network has to offer, including GDAY Gridiron, Pastry Press, NFL, and Aussie Gridiron Today. Buy merch and win free stuff. Visit the mothership at linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network. Hooroo!